Tito Capote, and we're back with another deck profile. Yeah, I know. We've been off in a hiatus for so long that it's like, oh man, there's so many coming out at once. But I really wanted to get this out because I am really excited about this deck. I worked so hard on this, and like I tried everything to make this thing playable, and I finally there are other people that did it as well. I found out by joining a Purrely group, but I think I'm happy with the creation that I made. Um, but anyway, we're doing Purrely today. So this one is going to be a sort of quicker version for people who just already know what the Purrely cards do, already know what everything is. They just want ratios. They just want everything like quick, quick and easy. So first, what we're going to do is I play 6 hand traps. So I play 3 Ghost Spell, 3 Ash. I think those are the better hand traps because uh, I don't want to play Bystials in this deck. They're good, but a lot of the times, one thing that I'm really scared of with this deck is Lava Golem. So if people aren't really playing Kaiju's, but I know a lot of decks like Labyrinth or everything are playing Lava Golem. So I feel like if I don't need to go into 2 monsters, I won't. Which is why I'd rather have something like Ghost Spell and Ash than the Bystials because the only thing that really hoses this deck are Kaiju's uh, and the Lava Golem, which if you give your opponent a chance to do with something that like people are main decking, then I think is a lot worse than just like not playing around it, But then we have 3 Naturia Mole Cricket. I think this card is really important just for getting advantage off the discards of the Purrely cards. Then we have 3 Naturia Camilla. This helps you search for things and go into Naturia Beast. 1 Naturia Sunflower because this is a negate that you can do basically twice per turn. And it's just something you can get off the extra mole cricket that you summon. Then 3 Naturia Sacred Tree. This card is not once per turn. It's crazy. You send it to the graveyard and you search for an interior card. 2 Naturia Blessing to be able to summon back your mole cricket or your Camilla when you need it. Or even your Sunflower sometimes, or even your Naturia Beast. Then, so that's the Naturia part of the deck. Now we're going into the Purrely part of the deck. So 3 Purrely, there's no reason why you wouldn't play 3 in a deck that is a Purrely deck. This card is insane. It's not once per turn. It helps you excavate cards off the top of your deck, thin your deck out, and it goes into Xyz monsters with basically one. No, it's 2 material, one from hand, one from the field, but it's really good. And look at him. Look at that little floof. Look at that little floof on that. This is so cute. Then we have 3 Purrely Delicious Memory. This is the one that helps you gain attack when it's attached and stops your card from being destroyed by battle. Then it has the clause where you can discard a card to summon a Purrely from deck. Not from deck or hand, which would be a lot better, but sometimes that's just it. Then we have 3 My Friend Purrely. So far, I only have one of this card. I've been borrowing the other ones from friends, but uh, 3 of this is necessary. So what this card does is when you play it, it does nothing, but then you can activate the effect, pay 500 life points, reveal any 3 Purrely cards from your deck. So that means you can reveal any 3 of the same one as well. So like Pantheism of the Monarchs. I think that's what it's called. And you you add one to hand randomly that your opponent chooses. So basically, it's just a searcher for the deck. Then we have 3 Pretty Memory. What this does is when it's attached to your opponent, when it's attached to your card, it gives the card the effect that you can send one other card you control to the graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and attach it to the Xyz monster's material, which was really good. And then when it's activated, you get we both opponent and you gain 1,000 life points, and you can summon a Purrely from deck by discarding one. Then Happy Memory. This makes it so when the card that you target uh, can't be destroyed, isn't destroyed the first time it's destroyed by card effect or by battle. It doesn't matter. This helps you circumvent the Purrely Leap um, uh, destruction effect that happens at the end of the turn. And when it's attached to your monster, it gives it one attack more for every Purrely Happy Memory it has. Then Purrely Stray Street. I played this instead of Prod of Prosperity because I think this card's insane. At first glance, it doesn't seem all that powerful, but what it does is when you're during the turn there's special summoned, your Purrely monsters can't be targeted by card effects. So that means it can't be impermed, it can't be veilered, it can't be affected by any targeting removal that your opponent has on turn two. It basically makes it so your plays are going to go through, and it's not only the Purrely main deck monsters, it's the Purrely Xyz monsters as well. Um, Its second effect is that if a Purrely Xyz monster you control leaves the field because of your opponent's card effect, you can summon back a Purrely from graveyard, which is crazy. And then the third effect, which is I think the best reason that you'd play the card in the deck, is at the end during each end phase you can attach a quick play spell from your deck to an Xyz monster, a Purrely Xyz monster you control. So it basically makes it so you get what you want to get attached to your Purrely monster. It's so good, and you'll see why when we get to the extra deck. One Purrely Leap, what this does is when it's activated, you can target one Purrely Xyz monster you control. Basically rank it up into the bigger versions or rank it down into the smaller versions. It doesn't matter, but it's destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. So if you activate during your opponent's turn, it's destroyed during your turn. And when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to shuffle back any three Purrely monsters, Xyz or main deck, that you want. Then we have two Triple Tactics Talents just for going second and getting more advantage off cards. One for one because Purrely is level 1, and one Monster Reborn because this card's insane in this deck. Then for the extra deck, we have, of course, one Zeus. We have one Downward Magician. We have one Relinquished Anima because everything is level 1 and everything is Xyz monsters. Then we have one Sylvan Princess Sprite. I'll put it up on the screen, what the card does. So what it does, basically the effect that you want to use it for is that you can detach a card to look at the top card of the deck. If it's a spell or trap card, add it to your hand. If not, just mill it to the graveyard. So it helps get your Naturia monsters in the graveyard, and it also helps get your Purrely spells extra advantage. Then one Naturia Beast, I'll put it up on the screen as well. So they basically this, whenever your opponent activates a spell card, you mill the top two cards of your deck, and negate it. Then two Expertly Beauty. What this card does is you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end phase. It's a quick effect if a Purrely is a Pretty Memory is attached to the material, and then once per turn when you activate a Purrely quick play spell, you can attach it to this card and change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls. Basically, this is like your backup plan. Usually you're going to go into Plump, but I still think it's a really good card. And it doesn't detach for the effect. It doesn't detach at all for any of its effects. It just keeps on getting material. So if you stall with this card, eventually you can get into Noir, which is the big thing of this deck. Then Purrely Happiness. What this does is during the damage step of this card battle, you can add one Purrely card from your deck to your hand, and if this card is Purrely Happy Memory of this material, you can have the attack monster in the field up to thrice per turn. And then up to thrice per turn when you activate a Purrely Quick Play spell card, you can attach that card to the field to this hand, then you could turn one spell or trap your opponent controls. It's really good to get out of things like one for one, not one for one, sorry, there can be only one Rivalry of Warlords. It doesn't really matter because they're all fairies for Rivalry of Warlords, but there can be only one, or what's it called? Gozen match is really important to get rid of. Then Expertly Happiness. This is basically just a card that helps you go into OTKs. Expertly Plump. This is the card that you're going to be going into most of the time. What this does is, as a quick effect, you can attach two spells or traps in the graveyard in either graveyard to this card as material. So it helps you get into Noir, and it as a quick effect. Sorry, not as a quick effect. When you activate a quick play spell card, Purrely quick play spell card, you can banish a card your opponent controls and attach it to banish a monster, non-targeting your opponent controls, and attach the quick play to this as material. So it's really good. With this card and a decent hand, you can get up to 6 materials on this card and 7 materials on Noir. And let's go over what Noir does. We play 3 Noir. You can play 2, but I think 3 is like just in case, like something happens. So what this card does is you can exceed this, summon this monster using a rank 2 monster with 5 or more materials. This card is unaffected by activated effects. So it's activated by anything. The best way I can explain it is any effect that starts a chain, it is unaffected by. So that includes droplets, that includes Dark Ruler No More. Basically, the only thing you have to worry about with this card in the field are Kaijus, Skill Drain, and Mystic Magnesium, Kaijus and Skill Drain, and Baguska maybe. But again, the reason that those aren't a problem is because usually turn 1 you can get this, a Naturia Beast, and a Mole Cricket on the field. if you're not scared of lava golem. If you think your opponent isn't playing lava golem, or you're just feeling risky, I know it's like one deck that plays it, but I'm terrified to death of that because no one main decks kaijus. Maybe they're going to start, but what this does is it's unaffected, and as a quick effect, if this card is has a level 1 Purrely monster as material, you can shuffle back a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. So any threat that comes to this card, you can just shuffle back, which I think is insane. And yeah, that's the Purrely deck. I worked really hard on it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think about the deck and what you think about like everything. I think this build of the deck is insane. It works really well for me. I play tested a lot with a lot of friends of mine, and like even against tier, going second against tier, it doesn't it's rough, but you can still get into noir with 5 materials and then sit on it because there's nothing tier can do with 2 delicious memory attached, which you usually get because of either excavation or because of the field spell. Um, you get 7 material noir, and tier can't really do against anything against that, especially when he's gaining 600 attack for and defense for every material attached, which is usually like 3,000 at base, and 15 with only one of them attached. So it's like this deck is actually sleeper, man. I think it's going to get people are going to start to realize that it's really good, and start to change their main deck up for it. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to discuss anything, join the Discord. Maybe start a little Purrely group. I don't know. I really love the deck. I really do. I think it's really amazing, and the archetype is. I love the art. It's just, and you know, I like cats. Look at this guy. Look at Kitty. I like cats, so this archetype is just I love it. Anyway, yeah. See you guys later. Hope you have a great day. Those of you who finished the video, my cat is very interested in my hero deck. You know she's a Yu-Gi-Oh player at heart. Yeah. Okay. You stop trying to knock it down. So she's there. She likes playing with it. Just a little bit of extra stuff for you.